Hi everyone, this is Norman Kochnek here. I'm not allowed to say eyes on cricket with Norman Kochnek, but I just said it. The reality is that we have an amazing fourth test about to start in only, less than an hour. And it's going to be very exciting. And we've got a show called Toss, Teams and Tantrums, as I've just been told. I've just been alerted that I'm going to watch my show. So a little message came. It's quite funny. The reality is, Pretty, you're frozen. Unless you're not moving your head.
No, she's frozen.
She's frozen. All right.
I'm still here.
You're still here. Pretty's back. The fact is that we have that amazing test match, but I have to tell viewers about what's just happened. This is, if you don't know, we've just been joined by another person, Debashis. Oh, this is an awesome foursome. You can talk. You don't have to wait. You can say hello.
Hi,
So,
Debashis.
Hello to everyone.
How are you?
Yeah, hi Pretty, hi Chris, hi Norman.
Hi, Debashis.
Yeah.
Has Pretty and Debashis been on before together?
No, it's my first time.
No, first time.
Well, this is exciting. So I've got to tell you a quick couple of things. First of all, 2 minutes out from going on live, I get a call from Jeff Thompson. He's going, Norman, I've just posted a YouTube video to my new YouTube account, but somehow it went onto my son's account. How do I change it? I've gone, oh my God. So he's got a problem. But he's posting his own fishing videos and his golfing videos, which is very exciting to see Jeff Thompson do his own thing on his own YouTube site. And I'm responsible, so I feel really happy. That's one thing. Then, Debashis, you woke up. Did you see what happened with the West Indies and Sri Lanka?
No.
Okay. Dana Jaya, the spin bowler, got a hat trick.
Yeah.
But then an over later, Kieran Pollard hit him for 6 sixes.
Oh.
We have a visitor.
I think he got hit for 7 sixes in a row. And I saw on Twitter that someone was asking, is that an international record that someone was hit for 7 in 7?
Was it the same bowler?
Yeah, so I think the first ball of his next over, or the last ball of the previous over, he got hit for 6 as well.
I think that's pretty much a record. But a bowler
Warming up for IPL.
Sorry?
Warming up for IPL.
Oh, that West Indies side is like it's like a throwback to 5-6 years ago. I mean, it's great. Obviously, it's not a great one-day side, and they're all a bit old and a bit past it, some of them. But it's great to see in the 2020. Yeah. You know, the likes of Chris Gale still about, and Dwayne Bravo and all that. So,
did Gale play today?
Yeah, he got naught. Yeah, he was out first ball. Was one of the
first ball. Okay,
I love him.
Just think about that. Danjay got a hat trick. His middle wicket was Chris Gale for a duck, and then Nicholas Pooran got out for a golden duck as well. Then you have Kieran Pollard coming in and getting did he hit the 7-6? No, he had 6 of them. Who hit the 7th one? I'm not sure.
I'm guessing it might be Holder, but I'd have to check if that's what.
No, anyway.
4 of his 3 for 62.
It was amazing. It was the most spectacular thing that was just fantastic to see. And that ground, you know it very well, Debashis, is the Coolidge cricket ground, which is the sticky wicket.
Just next to the Antigua airport. I watched your last podcast with Preeti, and it was wonderful. It brought back memories. I have been to West Indies twice, so it's a fascinating country. I'm talking about Antigua. The people are so laid back, but they are so warm and caring. And I got a very good friend, and I know Shipwreck as well.
Okay.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, Shipwreck.
And Norman, I would request you to use the videos that I have shared the links. Is it live now? I think the podcast is on live right now. We are discussing on the series. But aren't we discussing on the series?
We will.
So what podcast we're talking about? Yeah, we're talking about the test match, but we're digressing a little. That's all.
We're providing a cricket service to Bassus. It's not all about England getting stuff.
It's a one-stop shop for lifestyle.
All right, so I'm going to download all those videos and I'm going to send you. So
you haven't done it.
If you want, no. I'm just very busy with all other works. Okay. And with today the Masters tournament is also starting. you know that Sachin, Yuvraj Singh, Brian Lara, they are all playing the Masters.
Yep.
So the road safety Masters in Raipur. So
well, Monty's there too. Monty's there. He's been
Monty's there too. Yeah, Monty, Ryan Sidebottom, they are all here.
Who's Sidebottom? Who's
Ryan Sidebottom. Ryan Sidebottom.
I thought you were having a very on the side of your bottom. Did you say that? Did you say that?
He was a fine bowler in the right conditions, wasn't he? Not sure he would have taken many wickets in Ahmedabad, but in England or in New Zealand, he took
I'm going to
loads.
stop you right now. You've got this glaring white light on one side. It's like you're in some. Have you got a religious intervention?
Not at the moment. I've not quite been sent upstairs yet, but yeah, I'm still here.
Oh, but we mustn't forget it's 3:15 a.m. in the morning there in London.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So now you know how I feel when I have to wake up at 3:30.
Norman was complaining for 2 days.
What's the time in the States now?
It's 7:20 p.m.
Norman complaining for 2 days.
That's okay, 7:20 p.m. But it might be a struggle for Chris. Norman.
Well, I did the first 2 tests, obviously, when it went 5 days and 4 days. I did sort of 8 or 9 days in a row. Then Norman was complaining for 2 days because he had to get up for the after show at 3 a.m. and he slept through it once.
I did not.
I had to wake you up 15 minutes late. Preeti, remember?
I was
like, where's Norman?
Late for my viewers.
Yes,
Norman
I remember that.
Norman turned up like, hello.
He dozed off.
An absolute lie.
He did look a little bit sleepy. Preeti will back me up.
Yeah, you dozed up twice, Norman. Twice. We had to wake
Norman,
you
know for sure that when it comes to these chats, Preeti won't back me up unless it must be true. So
I'm I have to be truthful if I'm to be spiritual and on that path. So I can't lie.
Yeah.
So the Lakshmi Sharma's saying hello. Chris Fern, what are you doing tweeting? I thought, so good to see you, Norman and Chris. Well, I spoke to Lakshmi a while ago. She's in good form. All right, now.
RCB.
We have got a test match. Sorry?
Debasas, where is Raipur? Which state? Which city?
It's on the western part of the country.
So they're not playing Ahmedabad at all, are they?
No. It's very close to Ahmedabad. Yeah, it's very close to Ahmedabad.
Is it in Gujarat?
Not that far. Yes.
Well, even I know, Pretty, if it's near Ahmedabad, it must be in Gujarat. For God's sake.
We have other Western states, right?
Okay. All right.
It's good to see that one of my we touched on him in the IPL. I think he's an RCB boy. I said one of the up and coming blokes that I'd like to see has been doing well in the state in the Ranji Trophy. Padikal, Debasas, he's been
Devdutt Patik. He's playing. I think he's playing the Vijay Hazare Trophy.
Yeah, in the one-day competition.
Vijay Hazare, one-day competition. Yeah,
scoring lots of runs.
He has got 3 consecutive centuries.
Yeah,
he's been in great form. Yeah,
see, we're all very talkative today. This is quite incredible.
And also these RCB guys, Glenn Maxwell scored a great knock last time.
He's Norman's
Joshua Philippe, he's also did well. So these boys are doing well. RCB boys.
I'd love to see RCB win it. They're my
never. They can't.
It's just because my favorite.
They can't.
When I came through when I started getting into the IPL, and they had, I think, McCullum, Gale, and De Villiers and Kohli at one point, and they've got to be 4 of my favourite batters of all time, and they're all on the same team. Yeah. So, as a batter fan, I had to go with them. And they play on a tiny little ground. Is it the
Chinnaswamy Stadium? Yeah, in Bangalore.
It's like a postage stamp, isn't it? Yeah, tiny little ground. So Gale hit 175, and
Chinnaswamy's not small. That's a big ground. What are you talking
I'm sure it's a small ground with flat wicket.
Relatively.
Yeah. Every ground's a big ground for you, Norman. I've seen you bat.
Yeah. It holds 50,000 people probably for a small
ground. You actually don't know how well I bat.
And not for Chris Gale with a £3.6 club in his hand. I don't think any ground's a particularly big ground for him. So.
Okay,
there we go.
All right. Music Harmonies with you. RCB rocks. Rocks all the way to a non-winner.
Just about to have the toss, I think.
A non-winner.
Okay, so just quickly. So this test match, we talked last night, which we got over 3,000 viewers, which is very good. We had a good discussion about the test teams. We did conclude that Dom Bess would be in the team. We also thought there's a good chance that, Broad's out. Anderson could even be out as well. We're not sure. And if so, Mark Wood might get a Guernsey. Batting lineups will stay the same for both India and England. And maybe the Indian bowling line may change. Obviously, with Bumrah out, well, the belief is, it's either going to be, it could be Siraj or it could be another spinner, as in Washington Sundar perhaps coming into the side. What's your thoughts, Tabashis, before we find out?
I think obviously the one change is obvious with Bumrah out. I think it will be I think Umesh Yadav might very well get a nod ahead of Mohammad Siraj, but you never know because Siraj is quick. But I think that might, because Virat has also indicated that there won't be many changes in his press conference. So I also assume that there will be only one change. And if it would be nice to have Kuldeep back in the side because he has been traveling with the team for so long, means he has hardly got any opportunities. Virat was asked yesterday whether he has any chance of making it into the 11 or not. So he said, he was also asked that did he find anything wrong with Kuldeep? Is he not bowling well, or is there something wrong with his form? But Virat did say that he has been bowling outstandingly at the net. So it's only that the combinations, the team compositions and the combinations that is not allowing Kuldeep to get into the playing 11. So it's very unfortunate because Kuldeep is a very good bowler. But
so that implies that only Dominic Bess into the England lineup with, and in the case of India, will have Bumrah taken over by, say, Umesh Yadav and or Siraj, and potentially a spinner. We'll see. That's probably the only change. So what's the forecast there, Chris? What are you seeing in that semi-darkness with that?
I didn't know what Tabashis thought. And I saw someone on Twitter whether they might, with Test match cricket and one-day cricket in mind for this year, whether they might give Hardik a run out and play him as a second seamer if the pitch is going to spin, just to give him a game, to get him back in the side. I saw someone else tweet that. I don't know if that will happen. I doubt it, but they might rest Sharma.
Has the toss not happened yet? It's 9-2, I could see.
England are batting.
England has batting. Oh. England has won the toss.
England won the toss and are batting, correct?
So that's a good start. I'd suggest that's always a good start in India to win the toss and bat.
You batted first.
We said that last time, and look what happened.
Yeah, what we did in the first test as well. So it's always going to be an advantage. Again. It's a positive thing to do, isn't it, win the toss and bat? So I don't know what the sides are.
They can't be very far away.
No, I'm just following Twitter. It's not come on telly yet. It's they don't come on air till 10 minutes before the start, which is annoying. But
no, it'll be announced in a very short time. So England have won the toss and they've elected to bat.
Mm-hmm.
Not unlike what we saw in the third Test match. So that implies, that means that India logically will bat last, but it won't matter because the spinning wicket will start from ball one. Will India open the bowling with Axar Patel, Tabashis?
No. It's definitely going to be the seamers.
Why are you laughing for? The second innings they start with Axar
No. How can we ever imagine the first day of the Test match, first session, and the spinner opens the bowling attack?
Why not?
Well,
we've just had a hat trick and 3 sixes. Anything's possible.
Crazy things happen in cricket.
I'm with the batters. I don't know if I would. Obviously, what I've been brought up with and watched, I've always seen seam bowlers open. I think always you need to be going with seam bowlers in the first morning of a test. Second innings is different, but I think that I don't think the pitch will be as. I think it will be slightly better to bat on generally in this test. I think you'll find the first couple of days will be the best time to bat, and then it will deteriorate. So hopefully a good toss for England to win.
So Sanjay Kumar's asked me to do a newspaper thing. I will probably tomorrow. And also you've asked, is Test cricket on the rise again? We never waited for any Test matches like this before. You're right, Sanjay. Test cricket's on the rise for sure.
Yeah.
Big team news for England that we didn't predict. England have only picked 4 bowlers.
What?
Sibley, Crawley, Bairstow, Root, Stokes, Pope, Dan Lawrence at 7, Ben Folkes at 8, Don Bess, Jack Leach, Jimmy Anderson. So they've not picked the third seamer. So they've only gone in with Stokes, Anderson, Bess and Leach and Root. So I'm guessing that they predict it will spin.
So they've dropped Broad.
Broad out, Archer out, and brought in Lawrence and Bess. So they've gone in with the extra batter and only picked 4 bowlers. So they must predict it's going to spin.
You want my honest opinion? That won't help them at all because Dan Lawrence, for starters, is not in good form.
Yeah.
Oh, but he's better in the middle order. They just tried to strengthen the batting with who they've got there on tour. So he's a young lad who's coming through and pretty tough. He's never batted at 3. And you chuck him in at 3 against Axar Patel in India, against Bumrah, Ashwin and Patel. There aren't many blokes in world cricket that would stand up and score runs there. So in that scenario, you've got to stick with him, and he's an exciting prospect. So I'm glad to see he's been given a chance, even if it wasn't expected.
So let me get the bowling attack clear. We've got Anderson.
Yeah, good.
Opening the bowling with probably Stokes.
I would assume so. Yeah. Well, it depends how much
Leach and Root.
Yeah, I assume that they're suggesting that they think it will spin because England have always been, as you saw in the last test, their strength lies in their fast bowling. So they'll always be reluctant not to pick at least 2 frontline seamers. So maybe that's an early indication at the hint at the pitch, but we'll have to wait and see.
So Bumrah's gone and Siraj is in.
Oh, okay. What about Umesh?
Well, no, there's no mention of. No. It looks like the only change was Bumrah out, Siraj in.
Siraj in. Okay.
Okay, good.
So, and that confirms what you said to Busters about Kohli not wanting to change the side. That's only necessary change, and that's a fairly good indication he's supporting Siraj.
And
well.
I think it has got to do with Siraj's performance in Australia in the Brisbane Test. I think that might have influenced team management to pick him ahead of Umesh.
Well, he took 5 wickets, didn't he?
Do you think that Umesh is maybe not? They don't think he's 100% fit, or they're not wanting to risk.
No, he's absolutely 100% fit. That's the reason he was picked in the squad in last test match. But I think maybe they were wondering that Siraj will be a better option because he's a little bit weaker than Umesh. Yeah, maybe that might be the reason.
But I'm afraid England's team choice, best understandable, but Lawrence, oh jeez, I'm sorry. The more I think about it, I think that was.
They've just gone with the extra batting, haven't they? They've just gone with another batter. So I mean, they're backing the bowlers, and that's, to be fair, the bowlers in the series have done pretty well for England. I think that Jimmy's bowled pretty well in the first test. Leach has certainly not done himself any harm. Best bowled okay in that first test. Root took wickets in the last test, so they're just trying to strengthen. They're trying to strengthen the batting, and they've certainly done that with Lawrence. Ben Folkes batting at 8, Don Bess at 9.
And I think that Norman, I would slightly disagree with you because if England can bat well, because last test also, if you notice that first innings they were 78 for 2. Everyone accepted that had England batted well in the first innings, then things would have been different. If they had taken a lead of say 50 or 60 runs, means it could have been altogether a different ball game. So the key for England now that they have won the toss is to bat well and score big. Like the first test in Chennai, they batted. The key in India is to win the toss and bat first and score big.
Yeah,
half of the match is won in that way.
Fair enough. That's fair. It's a fair point. What about? I saw you put some videos up about what's his name, Jadeja. He was running quite freely. What's the story with him?
Yeah, he's getting fit. He's getting back to fitness. He's at the National Cricket Academy in Bengaluru. So hopefully he will be in the one-day squad, 3-match one-day squad against England.
There's a bit of confusion with him. I saw somewhere that he wasn't very happy, or he's a bit disgruntled that his injury's taken so long to recover from. I saw a tweet that he was a bit upset with the physio or the staff that he only dislocated his thumb.
The cricketers are a bit fussy about going to the National Cricket Academy, but this is the norm. Means if you are injured, if any of the national cricketers, contracted cricketers are injured, they need to go to the NCA, do the rehab, get back to fitness, then come back into the national squad.
So Bumrah's getting married?
Yeah.
I would suggest that might have given away a hint on the wicket and what their plans were. I think they probably said to Bumrah, "You've got a busy year. You've got the international. You've got the Cricket World Cup. Maybe have a couple of weeks off as a rest. We've got Siraj to come in and get married now because we need you down the line." I would maybe read between the lines that might have been a discussion that he might have been said to go and have a month off, because he's not playing in the one-day stuff as well. Is that right?
No, he's not playing. Yeah, absolutely. He's not.
So I reckon they might have said, we're going to pick 3 spinners in the last test. You didn't bowl a lot in the 3rd test.
6 overs,
You want to go and get married, go and have a month, go and have a rest. You've got the IPL and the T20 World Cup and then Test Series in England. Go and have a rest and enjoy yourself now and come back fresh. It might be a way to look at it.
There's one small thing though. I don't think he exactly knew who he was going to marry a few weeks ago. That was my confusion. But we won't.
How do you know that?
Yeah,
I can't say any.
These dates are decided months and months in advance. It's not sudden. Trust me. And it's a traditional wedding, so.
But hence my point. That's why I'm confused.
No, he just didn't speak about it. It was very private until it needed to be announced.
It's nice to see stuff like that, especially in India. And I don't mean this in a bad way, but cricket's a much bigger, it's a religion over there, and it's much more in the public eye, isn't it? That things like that are kept out of the press, isn't it? It's nice to see that the players do have some privacy.
No, of course they do. They have perfectly normal lives, and trust me, they enjoy all the love that they get. But with the marriages, they would never, he would never organize his wedding around his cricketing schedule. The date would be determined by his people or his parents and all, and then they'll make that work. Debasis can he can back me up on this, because obviously the Mahoratas and all that are very important. Right,
yeah.
And he's having a traditional wedding.
Yeah, what I mean is
is important.
If he is getting married this week and they've planned it, then he would have known a long time in advance that he was going to get rested.
But he didn't share it because he didn't need to. Why does the world need to know?
Yeah, exactly. But he must have had discussions with the BCCI that he would be rested for the last test. Yeah,
they were in the know. Let's just put it that way. Yeah.
Debasis, do you think they see Bumrah as a? And I think personally that he'll take a lot more wickets outside of India in Test cricket. I think that he's a sort of a more classical seam bowler in the fact that he's more of a swing bowler. Do you think that they're trying to manage his workload?
Because he's just playing his first series in India after playing for 17 Test matches. And you see his record. He's the quickest to go reach 50 Test wickets. And he has only bowled 6 overs in the last test match. So hardly he will get with the likes of Navdeep Saini and Mohammad Siraj and Mohammad Shami getting fit and Ishant Sharma. So you have plenty of options. So I don't think Bumrah will be used more on conditions away from home, particularly in England. He will be a very, very key member of the Indian team when India travels to England.
So Shami, what's his situation at the moment? How is he going?
Shami is also not fully fit, Norman. That's the reason he is still undergoing his rehab. So I think they are not taking chances, because with this bio bubble and the IPL, and then they travel to Sri Lanka for a short series, then they go to England for a full series. So too much cricket. And someone from the media did ask Kohli that, do you accept the idea of the players opting for rotation policy, opting for rotation, then Virat said he doesn't mind if the players opt themselves out, because they need rest, because they have been playing non-stop cricket, and with this bio bubble, you are locked inside the hotel and you only go to the stadium and then come back to your room. So they also need some relaxations.
Yeah, I think we spoke about it yesterday, and I know Norman's not a big fan of it, and England have come up.
Why are you talking on my behalf again?
Well, I know.
No, we did speak about it yesterday, and you did say you weren't a big fan of it, but it might be interesting to see if India, with the World T20 and then a Test series in England, if they adopt a similar approach to England and maybe take a view to pick a bigger squad and rotate round. It'd be interesting to see if, England have set the precedent a little bit with it here, with all the cricket. It'd be interesting to see if other sides copy and go and have similar theories. It'd just be interesting to see if that's how it unfolds.
But Australia hasn't got a B side at the moment, so we can't.
But Chris, I just want to ask Chris on this issue, is that why do you send Johnny Bairstow back to Sri Lanka? He could have easily been along with the team in India from Sri Lanka.
I think
why did he leave? Why did he leave back to England?
I think that it's a mental health, more like a freshen up kind of thing. I think.
But ECB could have made an arrangement to have their wives on tours, like in BCCI did with the Indian team when they travelled to Australia.
Yeah.
Several players accompanied their families. Ashwin, for one, he did accompany his wife and his 2 daughters.
It might be just the
ECB could have arranged something there so that they can bring their wives and their families to India.
I think it's to get out the bubble, to get home. India, as I've not been to India, but lovely country, but completely different lifestyle, food, culture to England. So maybe it's get out. You've been in Sri Lanka. You're here for the one dayers. The IPL, he'll go straight to the IPL. So I think Mark Wood obviously opted out of the IPL auction because he said, if I don't have any time at home, I won't be home till June. And that's a long, in completely alien conditions to Yorkshire anyway. It's a long time to be away from your family. And I think that maybe he wanted to get out of the bubble. Even if the wife had gone, he probably had to stay in the bubble with the players. He had to have trained. So it also might have been that they weren't planning on picking Bairstow for the 3rd test, that maybe they saw Crawley to bat 3, and which Crawley was going to bat 3 if he hadn't injured himself for the 1st test. And they very much saw Sibley and Burns being the opening combination. So I think Bairstow was sort of chucked in as we need you to come in, as opposed to we'd planned for you to come in. So I think
can I interrupt and ask what the English batting order will be?
Well, as discussed, it'll be top 6. Top 6.
But where's Dan Lawrence going to bat?
He'll bat 7, I'd imagine, and then Folkes at 8, 7? Which is a shame.
7?
Yeah. It's a long batting lineup with.
You're very unimpressed, Norman.
Well, I mean, he's been brought inside to bat, but he bats at 7.
Well, he bats at 5 in county cricket. He's a middle order batter. He's not a top order batter, so he'll suit that role better than maybe number 3.
Well, that even makes it more stupid, the fact that he batted first drop that time.
Well, as I said, that's Crawley. We had no choice. We picked a side. Bairstow wasn't there, and Crawley got injured. We had to do something to try and suit. So,
okay, so you got Sibley and Crawley there. That's commendable. Then you'll have Bairstow staying at first drop. Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. That top 6 won't change. The top 6 will be the same.
All right. So, okay. Well, we've only got another 12 minutes before the game starts. But I just want to look at some of the questions. FS is telling us about Kieran Pollard 6s. FS, if you came on time, you would have heard me talk about that. So
he was here early, FS. I did see him
earlier. It looks like he's just joined us in terms of comments. Okay, but FS is asking for Chris's prediction on the test. Oh, that's bloody obvious.
Well, I predicted India to win the last test and the test before, didn't I?
No.
And I think I predicted India to win the first test, so I've got 2 out of 3 right.
Oh, now come on! You're claiming that you had I have the crystal ball here.
Before the test, I said England will do well I said England will be happy to compete. I said I'm not predicting England to win any test. So
Yeah,
after
you
the
said
first day of
2-1,
the
I
first
think.
test, yeah.
Oh, you turned things around. You didn't say emphatically that they would win. You were talking England, England, England. What are you talking about?
I said England hopefully will compete, and after the toss on the first test, I said England might do well, and then my predictions obviously went with how the match is going. But at no point have I said England win the series or will, we always expect to lose.
The first day before the previous, was it the last coming, but the second test, I came out with that factual statement about Rohit Sharma 147. So you missed that, Debashis. I was spot on.
Yes, that was a good guess. I hope you get it right again.
Okay.
Music harmony.
Okay. So you're saying India's going to win this test match, are you, Chris?
I don't know. I think, as Debashis said, it comes down to...
No. I'm asking your prediction, not that you don't... You don't know is not a prediction, by the way. Just to let you know.
I'm not sure.
That's not a prediction.
India are favourites, but England have won the toss and the batting, and history and stats suggest that's an important thing to be able to do. So, if England can get 300 or bat well and get 300, then it's game on. I think, which I think is a fair thing to say. It all comes down to how England bat today.
India or England?
I think that England are quite a proud side and quite a good side, and they'll have there's points to prove in that England batting lineup, and they're good players in that batting order.
So you're saying England?
I'm always going to back my side, and I think batting first.
It's still not
I think we've got. I think we've got a chance. I think that.
Okay,
I think there's a good chance.
All right. Go to Bash. Who do you think's going?
India, obviously. India. The only fact is that if England bats well in the first innings and post a decent total, then. But then to win a test match, you need 5 bowlers, Norman, on any day.
Exactly.
It's a positive move for any side. Means you need 5 bowlers to pick 20 wickets. You win a test match by picking 20 wickets. That's the bottom line. You pick 20 wickets, so you win a test match. But 4 bowlers in this hot and humid condition, 2 seamers, and Ben Stokes doesn't bowl regularly these days. So it will be a huge task on Anderson, and then
on their bowlers,
the two spinners. Obviously, Joe Root will not pick 5 wickets every day, every test match. He's a decent bowler. He has underused himself, but obviously he's a very decent bowler. Means he has proved it in these conditions. But then he won't be picking 5 wickets in every test matches. So it will be a huge task for Tom Base. So I think England has got it wrong by picking 4 bowlers in these test matches. Any day you need to have 5 bowlers.
I think that they'll see Joe Root as a 5th bowler. I think that
we know that.
It's generally accepted in England that he should bowl a lot more than he does, and he's had back injuries, and that's why he hasn't bowled as much as he should. So I generally think that they see him as a frontline. He's a part-timer, but I think they'll be seeing him as a 5th bowler.
Yes.
And I honestly think that as a 5th bowling option, I think that he's possibly as effective as Washington Sundar at the moment. I think that Sundar will go on to be a better bowler in his career. But I think if you match them up in this test match or at the moment, I think that they're probably on a similar playing field. And I think that they just see that their best chance of winning the test is to have more batting than to have another seamer in. Because I look at the last 2 tests, Bumrah's bowled 6 overs, Broad bowled 5 overs. They probably see that there isn't a better 3rd choice spinner option there, so that their only way is to bowl more Root, using high in confidence, isn't just taking a 5-fer, and to try and win the test that way through the spinners.
All right, so Chris is barracking for England. Tobias is for India. Pretty.
I think if it's a high-scoring game, look, there's always a possibility of a draw as well. That might be interesting in the mix. But I think India will win. I think the first day will reveal everything we need to know, how long it's going to go, and exactly the pitch and how it's turning and all that. So interesting to see at the end of the first day what the situation is. But I think India's bowling attack is very strong, and if the pitch is what they thought, I mean, if they've picked according to the pitch, then they will their bowlers will do the job for them. So.
That's good. So okay, we've got England in the bottom corner, that one there. Then over there we got Tabasas with India, and then India up top. Now it's Norman's turn. Now I've just noticed Lakshmi Sharma's actually telling me to say that Rohit Sharma will be 157 not out, not 147, 157. She's asking me. Maybe she's seen something. Or she was right with the name of the stadium last time, so who knows? Okay. But the reality is, there's no doubt about it. They made a mistake putting in Dan Lawrence. Unless Dan Lawrence all of a sudden opens the bowling and shocks us all, that would certainly be a bit of a shock.
You can't say they've made a mistake. They've taken a call, what they think is their best chance to win. There's lots of ways that they made, it's easy to say in advance, but I think that I don't think you can say they made a mistake. They only picked the side 20 minutes ago. It's easy to say.
I don't know.
It's hard to say
do you really
think
they picked the side 20 minutes ago?
No, but I'm saying is that we've only heard the side 20 minutes ago. I don't think you can say they made a mistake. They've made a judgment call. Mm-hmm. And Joe Root is probably the best third spinner they've got. India have only gone in with 2 seamers. England have just gone in with 3 spinners, but one of them happens to be our best batter. That's just the way, and Stokes bats as well. So they've probably gone in with the best 2 seamers, or the best. It just happens to be that 2 of them bat in the top 5. So that's why the team looks a little bit weirdly proportioned, because 2 of the bowlers bat in the top order.
And if I was allowed to finish my prediction, which obviously I wasn't, I was barracking for. I'm saying India will win. And I'm not saying 3 days, nor am I saying 2. I'd say probably more likely 4. But we've lost the Tabasas. He could well have to go off and start the show because he's on deck there. But just that was great. The reality is we have 3 India, 1 England in the predictions. I'm saying close to 4 days. The reality is it probably will take longer than 2, you would hope. And more importantly, Diptis Gupta was so good to join us, and so did David Graveney the previous nights, and they were very clear on some of the things which we've actually confirmed here today. So that's great. Now, Chris, in terms of questions, Garrett Banker says, why can't we win the toss? It's a good question. I guess call tails as opposed to heads might be the trick.
You have a 50-50 chance, right?
Although there is a bit of science to it. Some people stick to just calling heads. Some people stick to calling tails.
Yeah. I think it's usually heads more, right?
51% of the time, isn't it? It's some crazy 50.9%.
It's some around it, yeah.
Really? That's like still more heads then, isn't it? Effectively.
Just to say on my predictions, I think India are favourites, and my head says that India are going to win more often than England will, but England have given themselves the best chance to win. And I'm always going to think that if England can bat well and support my side. So I think it's going to be an interesting test. And I think Preeti is 100% right that the first day of this test probably defines this series. Yeah. If England get bowled out for 150 or 200, probably game over. If England can be something like 260 for 5 at the close, then you never know. It makes it interesting because there's a bit of pressure on that Indian batting lineup. It hasn't fired as well as it should have done, or they would have expected. So if England can put runs on the board and put the Indian batting lineup under pressure, then it'll be an interesting spectacle, I think.
And a draw for India would still, allow it to go to the final, so it works out. So they're not. I mean, it's a win or a draw for them as long as they don't lose.
All right. I'll put no. I don't want to. Okay. All right. So Tabasas has gone for India. Preeti's gone for India. I've gone for India. Chris has gone for England.
Got to have some balance, I guess.
Yes.
No. It's just one team. Then you said 260 for 5, was it?
I think England will be more than that. I think if we bat the day, I'm going to say England will finish the day 280 for 5. Yeah, 280 for 5. There we go.
I've got my pen here. I'm gonna have to find.
Oh, God.
Can someone write this down? I'm gonna. Can someone?
These are more trickier than just predicting who's going to win. It's very
Ishant Sharma opening the bowling. And it's also going to be interesting to see, there's a lot of talk about the pitch in the third test. It'll be interesting to see how much of that was the ball. You know, it's the pitch and the ball and getting back to proper test cricket, you know, without this silly pink gimmicky stuff and floodlights. It's going to be interesting to see comparison. You know, it's an interesting from a sort of a cricket geeky nerdy perspective how the ball goes, and see how, you know, and compare it to the third test. So it's you know, I've much better this proper cricket with red balls, that's for sure.
So okay, so 5 for 280 for Chris. Pretty, what's the score going to be in the day one?
Oh my God, I'm gonna.
No, God's got nothing to do with it.
I haven't seen. Trying to make an assumption about what the pitch is going to be like, more similar to last time. I'm going to be conservative. I think 245.
For how many?
I'm assuming it's a very spin-friendly pitch then.
Yeah, all out?
245 all out?
I don't know. I'm just going to give you a score.
All right.
I'd suggest... Sorry.
No, Devashis?
I would say 305 for 8.
I'll take that right now. I'll shake your hand and say thank you very much, Debasis. I'll see you tomorrow morning.
305 for 8 with Root again leading the way. With Root leading the way, maybe Stokes also coming good with the bat. But end of the day, India still favourite to win this test match.
India reviewing second ball. LBW Crawley.
No, hang on. We're going to finish with mine.
Well, might
England
I
all out.
posted out while we were here on air.
Yeah, England all out for 171.
Oh, so you're really expecting it to be exactly like the last test?
Yeah, I reckon 171 will be lucky if they get to 171. And India will be 2 for 100.
Wow.
Okay.
A quick game.
Well, it could be out. Well, it might be high. India reviewed. So a big LBW shot on Crawley. It swung. Big swung. Umpire said not out. Hit him on the knee roll, and he's 6'6". Zach Crawley. He's a big bloke.
Okay, so India. So 5 for 280 is Chris. All out 245. Pretty. Debasis 8 for 305. Norman 171. All out and 2 for 100. Final words. We're going to see how close we are. And Rohit Sharma. How many runs is Rohit Sharma going to be? He's going to be all out 54.
India lost the review. Second ball going over the stumps.
That's okay. They'll get more chances.
That swung. I don't know if Debasis is watching it or anyone watching the first 2 balls.
No, I couldn't watch it.
Okay. We're going to finish up, guys. We're going to be fair to our viewers and watch as well. So it's been wonderful having you yet again, all 4 of you. We're going, or 3 of you, I should say, and me. And we're going to be on tonight I've got it for 10:40 p.m. Australian time, which is about 5:10. Do we expect a later finish than that, Debasis?
No, it's all right.
Okay. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. I've got to go on and help Jeff Thompson's YouTube channel and deal with my son who's got an issue as well. So thank you all, guys, once again. It's been wonderful to have you on.
Thank you, guys. Enjoy the game.
Thank you.
Great.
Nice to see you all. Have fun, Pretty. Have fun,
Norman Kosnick from Eyes on Cricket. Norman Kosnick. If you like and share, don't forget to subscribe and make banter. A lot of answers.
Follow us, please.
And we need to get the viewers. There's a big game for Liverpool tonight in the Premier League, so I need some love from the viewers cheering on Liverpool.
Are you a Liverpool fan? Me too. So
massive Liverpool fan. Massive Liverpool fan. So big game against Chelsea tonight. So I need some fans in there. Let's have some love for Liverpool.
Man U's my son. All right, guys. Thanks, Tobias. Just talk to you soon, guys.
Thank you.
Later.
Yeah.
Thanks, Freddie. Thanks, Chris.